This video might have to be in a couple parts. I just realised I need that on. Anyway, this video might be in a couple of parts because there's a lot of things I want to talk about. Well, I suppose I'll start at the beginning. I believe teaching someone the views of the world. You talk about valid views. I personally believe that just about any view that could exist is valid. It all helps to educate and inform. Even if just to inform us to say, hey, this is the extreme, insane view of this subject. And even those can be useful to learn, to get a better understanding of humanity. And I want to talk about humanity as well. You have a lot of faith in humanity, I think. Otherwise you wouldn't make an effort to teach your son to be patient and loving with people. And you see, I don't have that faith in mankind. I have no faith in mankind whatsoever. Humanity. As general, I don't really like humanity. I can't tolerate the ignorance and stupidity of man. The arrogance. Perhaps a little bit of a hypocritic statement coming from me. But I don't have half as much faith in mankind as you have. I don't have that love. I don't even have that respect. And that doesn't bother me. That may sound a bit depressing to you. It may sound well, obviously I don't know how it sounds to you. But how it sounds to me, how that would sound to other people is a bit depressing and a bit sad, really. But it's not. It's how I've been for a while now, and it's how I like being. I like not having that faith and that trust in mankind. It keeps me safer. And I think in the end it makes me a smarter person. I also want to talk about family. Now, obviously I can tell that from that video that you have a family. Good family. It's come to my attention that, at least where I come from, there is no such thing as a functional family. Functional in this society means to be dysfunctional. The term dysfunctional family is so overused, and wrongly used as well. You know, I think a functional family is a family from the UK in the 40s or the 50s. You know, they all sit up to the table and eat together, do things together as families, enjoy the same things together as families. But we can't expect mankind to stay the same forever. We're ever evolving and ever changing. But I want to talk more about family. My family. You seem to have a good relationship with your kids. I don't have any kids myself, thank God. I do not want any. The whole family thing is just not what I'm looking for out of life. But as for the family I do have, well, where to start? My relationship with my father is, at times, non-existent. it makes up for it when we do finally see each other because we get on very well with very similar people. He also has this Asperger's syndrome. It actually comes from the genetics of the male side. So he also has another son who is, I don't know how old he is actually. I think he's about 7. Um, he came from a relationship after my mum, who I try not to think about as much as possible. She was, well, she was a bitch basically, and I hope she's watching this. Um, but that had a small effect on my relationship with my father and the relationship between my mother and my father. Um, they fell out a bit over it. They've become friends since, and I suppose you'd go as far to say as that we're one big happy family living in different parts of the country. But that's how families should be. I think when families live that close together, like mine does, there's several family members that have moved some distance away, and it suits them better, and I can see why they've done it. They've gone off to start families of their own, and so yeah. What else do I want to talk about? As I said in the last video, I have to always be challenging myself with something, even if it be, I don't know, if I'm writing, then I'll have to write more than I wrote last time, or if not more, just write something that's better. Anything I'm doing, it has to be constantly improving on myself, constantly challenging, otherwise there's no point in doing it. And that includes watching videos. Even to the point of I'll watch, 10 videos in one day and then 50 in the next. I do watch more than that on average, I think. In fact, no, last few days I've only watched a few videos a day on average. But overall, it's probably somewhere between 15 and 25 videos on average a day. But that comes with having the time. What else? And it's funny you should mention philosophy and music, because that's I'm currently I'm having a meeting sometime this week. I'm going to go to the local college and see what they can do for me. And I'm interested in studying philosophy, maybe music, I don't know yet. Both interest me very much. I'm a musician. I'm not a philosopher, but I'd want to be. And I'd like to be so that I'd like to be able to say that I know what I'm talking about on at least one thing. I have music. I know what I'm talking about on music, but it's not just that one subject is not enough. That's not the subject I talk about the most. The subject I talk about the most is probably religion and philosophy. Philosophy is a bigger part of life for me. It's something that interests me a lot. I'm going to skip straight on to my final point, which is depression. I think at some point in their lives, most people have been depressed. I've been there. I'm still back and forth now. I got over the depression itself, but I still have days when I'm back and forth. I'm kind of like a bipolar. Some days I can be fantastic, and I'm usually either quite good or very, very on the verge of being suicidal. I've never been suicidal. I've been very depressed, but suicide doesn't even come into it for me. It's just the most pointless act. And I don't like to do things that are pointless. I was going to make another video to explain more, but I'm going to finish up now anyway.